Hey, good morning, Century 21 Veterans. Ken Morowski coming to you live from beautiful downtown Pendel in the Pendel Palace. Mel, where you at today?
I'm in rainy Levittown, apparently.
Rainy Levittown.
And it's like pouring outside. It's ridiculous.
I'm telling you, man, it's crazy out. The good news is that it's cold and rainy, so we don't want to be out anyway, which makes, a lockdown a whole lot better deal. Public service announcement, couple of things today. Again, we have people are now starting to get pinched for doing real estate work when they know they're not allowed to. We have reports of a Berkshire Hathaway office who got a cease and desist from the Pennsylvania State Police. The last thing that Melanie, I, or you want is any interaction with the state police at this time of that we find ourselves in. So let's.
It's a little embarrassing, too, not for nothing, because they published the office.
Yeah.
So it wasn't local to us, but somebody reported, state police had to go, and obviously the PAR ended up publishing the information. So we don't want our information out there, and we're not paying your fine. So definitely don't go doing that.
Yeah. I mean, this is happening, and the people that are taking it seriously are going to have a tendency to remember the people that are not. I'm not just talking about realtors. I'm talking about the general public and consumers.
Correct.
If you're taking a face-to-face appointment at this point, think about the peril that you're putting not only you but the seller or the buyer in. I mean, we got a long time on our hands. Let's just do it right.
Well, it's just illegal for the buyer and the seller too. I think we forget that. We're licensed with the state, but it's our license on the line, and it's a fine for us on the line. It's also a fine for the buyer and or seller because they're allowing it as well, which they're not allowed to do. So it's not just our license, it's a fine that could potentially come to a buyer or a seller.
Yeah, so no good. But good news, NAR put out their very, very comprehensive guide to what happened in Washington this past week. There's a link to it. I've read through it a couple of times. NAR's breakdown of it, very simple, easy to understand, but also very comprehensive. It'll talk about unemployment compensation. It'll talk about checks. It'll talk about just about whatever is important to us. And from NAR's perspective, why it's important to us. So take a look at the link, read through it. If you have any questions, feel free to fire them away at us. And while I'm on the subject, you're going to read about unemployment compensation. I need you to understand how a government entity works. Got a lot of experience with this. Trust me when I tell you. There are people who woke up this morning and thought there was going to be a $1,200 check in their mailbox. It is not going to happen for another couple weeks.
I checked. It's not there.
It is not there, right? You don't have yours. I didn't have mine. It takes a minute for the president to sign a document and it to actually become effective. It became law yesterday, but it's going to take people that do this stuff a minute to catch up. So Treasury's got to figure out how to get the checks out to people. But as far as the unemployment compensation goes, the way it works is if you go to the Pennsylvania unemployment compensation website right now, it won't have anything in there about independent contractors. That's because up until yesterday, you weren't allowed to collect unemployment insurance as an independent contractor. I can assure you it's going to happen. It's already signed into law. You may want to wait a day or two. I can certainly assure you it's not going to happen on a Saturday or a Sunday. You may want to wait a day or two, Monday, Tuesday timeframe. I encourage anybody that is going to apply for unemployment compensation or thinks they should or thinks they need it, by all means, you should do it. I'm 100% behind that. What I'm telling you, though, is that there's nothing there for you right now. So theoretically, if you apply for it right now, you're going to get denied. And then you're going to be standing there 3 weeks from now trying to figure out why you were denied. Well, up until yesterday, you weren't allowed to apply for it, and that's the reason. Again, it's a government entity. It only knows what it knows. So don't jump the gun. I had realtors turning around on Monday calling me saying, hey, I applied for unemployment today. And I'm like, you're getting denied. And they go, why? And I go, because it's not the law yet. And
Well, we don't have a choice. We get a piece of paper that we have to fill in that says,
right.
Were they an employee and what was their wages?
Right.
We have to say no. We don't have a choice. It's not like I want to deny anything, but you weren't physically an employee of ours. So just
right, you're an independent contractor in there. Right, and just to make the distinction that those are two separate and very distinct things. You're either an employee or an independent contractor.
So, yeah. We want to make sure you guys are obviously working and not sitting at home gaining the 19 pounds that's coming with this whole staying in the house thing. So I thought walking to my fridge every day was going to be enough exercise. It turns out my Fitbit is not exactly thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
So got to get on the treadmill, got to get out, got to work, but you also have to work in your business. So we talked about this before. Your database is super, super important. Make sure you guys are staying in touch with the database, because if you're not, I can tell you right now that Zillow is. They are putting out information to everybody and anybody that registered on their website at any point in time, that they're there for them and that they can search and find the best realtor ever. So make sure you guys are staying in touch, because like we said before, your database will get stolen very quickly. When you're talking about listings and buyers, we can't show houses, and I know you guys get frustrated. It's not us, it's obviously the governor's law. But ask the agent on the other end. Don't call them up and say, can I show it? Because they're getting really mad. Call them up and ask them if their seller happens to be home, and are they willing to do a video for your buyer. There are reports that other agents are having their sellers, and the sellers having no issue with it, go through the house on a Facebook Live or a Zoom call, or just simply you guys have iPhones, whatever it is you guys use on your fancy iPhone world that I don't have on Samsung. And they're actually talking that way. The seller is told by the agent, you got to tell the seller up front, don't say anything stupid, don't say anything personal. Try to have your kids not in the videos. And oh, by the way, don't tell them what you're going to take for the house, but walk them around the property. It's a good way for a buyer to kind of get a gauge of what's going on in the house. And a buyer may potentially buy that way. So don't think that this is stopping people. John Keaton actually just put 2 deals in, all through virtual tours and videos. So it is definitely possible.
It's happening. It's definitely happening.
Yeah, stay out of the negative, because God, oh my gosh, Facebook is so negative on, you can't show through a video, you can't make an offer through a video, you can actually do those things. So
yeah, and just to be clear, that's usually guys and ladies my age saying you can't do it that way. I can assure you, I have a 30-year-old daughter, and she would 100% buy a house through a video.
Yeah, look at what you guys are seeing on TV. Have you guys seen the car commercials that are actually now saying, don't worry about going into our dealership, just pick a car online and buy it and we'll bring it to you. You literally don't have to go into a car dealership anymore to buy your new car, which I think they're giving away like months and months of no payments. It's like, I'm tempted myself. Hey, do I need a new Jeep right now? So, I mean, if they did it with hot tubs, that'd be awesome. I'd have one in my backyard in a second, but so far.
Okay.
So C21 University, I need you guys to take a look at that. We put out a PDF the other day. You can register for classes. There's a lot of really, really good stuff on there for the month. And a lot of it, like we said, is very unique. How to do a virtual open house with your seller. How do you get past a lot of the questions that are going to come up on, should I list my house right now? Should I wait? And stuff like that. So take a look, sit back on your couch, and while I'm on education, CEs, I think you guys got my email. I'm super disappointed in the state with letting it. I really am. I feel like you guys had 22 months. However, we do have a little length of time. I cannot renew. So Val actually went online to try to renew her license because she's super quick on that kind of stuff. And because the broker didn't renew, she couldn't. Well, it turns out I can't renew either. Now that they extended, we are all faced with renewing sometime in July.
Yep.
But get your CEs done. Do not wait till August 28th to do the CEs. They will not be forgiving about any of this stuff. So anyway, get your CEs done. And
now's a good time to sharpen your axe, guys. I mean, we're kind of stuck doing things or not doing things that we really enjoy doing. We got to find other ways to get better at what we do. And this is a real good time to do it.
Yep, I agree. So back to my rainy Saturday. I think I'm going to go make face masks for my sister.
Yeah, have fun.
It was up to her, and have fun.
All right. Thanks, guys.